mind is either your power or your prison. Your mind is either your power or your prison, bro. And that's up for you to decide. So I'm saying that's up for you to determine whether you want that to be your power or your prison. But your mind is either your power or your prison, especially in this time that we in. Especially in this time that we in. You understand this? It's a lot of energy on the planet right now, a lot of truth on the planet right now, and a lot of knowledge on the planet right now. You know what I'm saying? And wisdom as well. So when we're walking in this time, your mind is your power or your prison. You see what I'm saying? If you allow yourself to gasp on these things and really sit on these things and hone on these things and meditate on these things and grab these things, you see what I'm saying? It'll become your power. But if you allow these things to put you into fear, into trauma, into a loop of I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where to go. It'll become your prison. It'll become your prison. For many, it is already their prison. It is already their prison, and it's their prison because they allow it to be their prison. They're a prisoner here first. They're a prisoner here first. You see what I'm saying? Because they hold themselves to limits and restraints of the world, of the world. But if they come out on the news right now and say, "Oh, this is going to happen," you know how many people are going to fear. You know how many people are running to the grocery stores and to the gas stations. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do different things. So you gotta understand this. In this time, bro, your mind is your power. You gotta use it as your power. This is a time to be studying. This is a time to be growing. This is the time to be diving in deep into this information so you can understand what's going on in this period and taking place in this time. Because the time we in right now is a manifestation period. Not only a manifestation period, but it's what you call a biblical period. It's a biblical period. A lot of us right now are in this time or in this period of growing and awakening. You see what I'm saying? And awakening just within ourselves. So that right there is letting you know, nigga, we're gaining our power back. We're gaining our power back. A lot of things are starting to make sense. A lot of things are starting to click. You're starting to remember. So with these things taking place right now, you gotta understand, nigga, don't let them or don't let yourself become your own enemy within your mind, within your head, by what you're watching, by what you're doing. So I'm saying by what you're obtaining, because you can become your own biggest enemy. You can become your own biggest enemy. Just in here, a lot of us are prisoners in here already. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? A lot of us are prisoners in here already. So when we get when we get the opportunity or a chance to do something, we're not actually able to do it because we're a prisoner here mentally. That's your power, bro. What you gotta understand, that's your power, that's your growth, that's your understanding, that's your memory. What you gotta understand, you gotta feed your brain first. You don't necessarily need to feed all your muscles and shit right then and there, but you need to feed your brain. So that's picking up the book. That's meditating. That's sitting in solitude. Because in this time right now, a lot of us are, a lot of us are seeing a lot of people experience going crazy. You see what I'm saying? Going crazy and how they're going crazy because nigga, it's a prison to them. Their mind has become a prison because they feed themselves to the world so much. You see what I'm saying? A lot of folks don't step out of nature. A lot of folks don't step out and get out here and actually meditate, really sit with themselves. They always got to be by somebody. They always need that external feeling. You see what I'm saying? And when you do that, you become a prisoner to what other people think and what the world think of you. Like I said, if you get on if you get on if you watch the news a lot and you believe the news, a lot of times you go into a fear place, a fear mindset because they're telling you all these overwhelming things. And then pay attention to how they saying it. They have the red and blue, and that red and blue signifies different things. You see what I'm saying? They're playing a game on us. They're playing a game on us, just like in the Matrix, nigga. When they had the red and blue pill, you have to choose a side. You have to choose a side, and it got to be the righteous side. Because a lot of them, you got to understand, are going crazy. They understand what time we in. A lot of celebrities and things of that nature are being sacrificed. Are being sacrificed. You see what I'm saying? They're being sacrificed because nigga, it's their time. It's their time. You see what I'm saying? They signed up with those people. So when you sign up with those people, you gotta they understand this or do they understand these different things. So you gotta understand what time we in right now. Your mind can become a prison or it can become your power. It can become a prison or it can become your power. And what you want it to be, bro, is your power. You want to be able to use your mind to overthink things, to outthink things. You see what I'm saying? To say, okay, nigga, I can outsmart this situation. I can outsmart this person. You don't want to get in that situation and not be able to think. You see what I'm saying? Be having brain farts. A lot of times, nigga, you in this fight or freeze mode, this fight or fight. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times, nigga, what you gotta understand, nigga, you only in that mode because you're a prisoner in your mind. You haven't freed yourself mentally, and a lot of us haven't because we at the same time we do need the system. We do need the system, and a lot of times, nigga, we feed ourselves to the system by just goddamn getting up and going to work every day, doing certain things, nigga. But what you gotta understand, nigga, you still have the freedom to go do what the fuck you want to do. If you don't work, you don't have to. But understand, nigga, you still gotta make a way for yourself. That's the biggest thing, nigga, and that's how you remove yourself from becoming a slave to the fucking world or to your mind, nigga. Removing yourself. Removing yourself. You have to remove yourself from the system so you can see the world from a different lens, from a different microscope. Because nigga, if you stay locked in let's just say the inner city or the world or something like that, you will only see the world one way. You only see the world one way because that's what you see most of the time. You see liquor, you see goddamn fast food, you see all these different things. So now, nigga, you're not only a slave to your mind, but you're a slave to your flesh. You're a slave to your flesh because, nigga, you like, damn, ooh, I want this, ooh, I want that. You gotta understand, nigga, it's power here. The power starts here. The power never starts physically. The power never starts physically. It starts mentally. You gotta know you mentally strong. You see what I'm saying? It's 90% mental and 10% physical. You gotta understand that. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So when you stepping into that enlightenment and you stepping into that wisdom, understand that there's certain things that come with it. You're not gonna see the world the same way that you seen it before you had that wisdom and that understanding and that knowledge. So you can't move the same way. You can't move the same way, but you're more free in your mind because you understand and you're starting to see the truth and this shit is starting to click. And this shit is starting to click. More like other people, what are they doing? They're going crazy because they're a prisoner to their mind. They're a prisoner to their flesh. They're prisoners. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not working on self. All they see is the external. They don't see the internal. They don't see the soul within themselves. So they lose themselves. They run away from themselves. They never find themselves. That's a lost soul. That's a lost soul. So they can't. It's hard for them to find their identity, and that's a lot of people in the world because what's going on in the world, a lot of motherfuckers in the world right now are just placing themselves out here, putting themselves out here because they want this notoriety. You see what I'm saying? They don't really have no real purpose, no real game, no real gems to give nobody, but because they're losing themselves in the world and because they're already trapped up here mentally, they want to do what everybody else do. They want to go out here and try to do this too. Bro, your craft is much different. So I'm saying a lot of us have different crafts. You got to focus on yourself to actually find those crafts. But you will become a slave to your mind, trying to tap into the world, what the world want you to do. You see what I'm saying? What the world see me best at. No, you got to find what you're best at for yourself. You got to be spiritual for yourself because spirituality is about liberation. And like I said, that all starts mentally. You start to wake up mentally before you wake up physically. You see what I'm saying? Those things that those neurons got to start clicking within yourself. You see what I'm saying? Hey, damn, look at this. Pay attention to this. Read this. Things start clicking. And when those things start clicking, you start to understand. You start to understand. And what you're overstanding and understanding is self because you're not a prisoner to yourself no more. You're not a prisoner to your mind no more because you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, you have the understanding. So now, nigga, you are able to go out into this world and flourish and thrive and then walk in your own light and still be your genuine, authentic self because you didn't feed all these external things. You said, fuck what the world think. What do I think? What do I think? Not only what do I think, what do I know? I'm paying attention to this shit. You gotta use your resources, bro, so you can become, so your mind can become stronger because we do have a lot of technology out here. You gotta learn how to use the technology, not let the technology use you. When you allow the technology to use you, you become a slave to it. You become a slave to it. You forget you have a pen and a pencil. You forget you have a pen and a pencil when you write these things down, it seems to come faster. It seems to come faster. You wanna know why? Because you didn't look it up. It wasn't the internet. It wasn't somebody else's mind placing it or something else digitally placing that within your mind and saying, hey, listen to this. Listen to this. Do this. Do that. See, that's what happened when you place yourself in the world so much. You lose sight of yourself. You lose track of yourself. You forget. You forget your goals. You see what I'm saying? You forget your goals, and not only do you get lost in that, you get a loss amongst your peers. You get lost amongst your peers. So now you really is messed up because your peers are telling you one thing. They maybe can go out. You can't go out though. You got different things to do, and your energy shine bright. So you gotta carry yourself a different way. You gotta understand this. You know this though. You know this. You know this. You know what time we in. You know what time we in. Don't become a slave to your mind. Let your mind become powerful. You see what I'm saying? Let your mind dwell. You need certain things so your mind can become powerful, and that's focus. One of them, one big thing for your mind to become powerful is you need focus. You need discipline. You see what I'm saying? And you need to constantly feed your mind. Feed your mind. Read books. You see what I'm saying? Read different information. Write down different things. You see what I'm saying? So those things can stick. If you want those things to stick, and if you want yourself to be, if you want yourself to have a free mind and not be a slave to yourself and not be a slave to your mind, because you become a slave to your mind, like I said, doing everything just off impulse. Oh, my mind said this, or my body said this. Fuck all that. You gotta control those type of things so you can become better, so you can become smarter. And this time, like I said, bro, a lot of folks are going crazy and they're really a slave to their own mind. They're trapped in their own mind. They're not really seeing these things, and they may be seeing these things, but they're a slave to their own mind because they allow themselves to be. They allow themselves to be. They consume too much of the internet. They consume too much of external things. They don't feed themselves enough. And when you see that, you move away. You guide yourself in another direction because you understand. I want to be powerful, and this all starts with the mind. It all starts with the mind. You could be physically stronger than somebody, but he always wins because he's smarter than you, or she's smarter than you. You see what I'm saying? They always win because they're smarter than you. You see what I'm saying? You can be physically gifted, but if that person is smarter than you, 9 times out of 10, they'll win because they'll outthink you. So you gotta remember that. You gotta remember that. Don't become a slave to your mind, bro. Have a powerful mind. Strengthen your mind, because that's what illuminates that thinking. That's what illuminates that freedom, bro. So, bro, like I said, bro, that's the things you need to do to have a free mind, bro, and the things you don't need to do to have a slave mind. If you want a slave mind, by all means, that's on you. We want to be free up here. So I thank y'all for tapping in with me. Like, comment, subscribe. When we gonna get up out of here, like I said, bro, have a free mind. Have a free mind. Thank y'all. Peace.